year of the World Teen Parliament, and I'm truly honored to be standing here today among such bright young minds and respected guests. It's an absolute honor and privilege to welcome you all to this exciting debate session of the World Teen Parliament, a space where the youth dares to dream, speak, and lead. First and foremost, I would like to extend a heartfelt and respectful welcome to our honored guest, Mr. Hon H.E. Lyonpo Lungten Dorji, Honorable Hon Dasho Pema Chewang, Honorable Hon Mrs. Priscilla Moyo, Miss Sheena Kapoor, and Mr. Daksh Gaur, Member of Parliament, whose presence today is truly inspiring for all of us. Sirs and madams, your work and leadership at the national level reminds us that real change begins when voices rise. And we are grateful to have your guidance and support here today. To all the passionate teen leaders and participants, welcome. Today isn't just about debating for points, it's about standing up for ideas, embracing different viewpoints, and growing through respectful dialogues. Let's remember the best arguments are those that build bridges, not walls. So, as we begin this session, may our voices be bold, our minds be open, and our spirits be rooted in respect and purpose. Let the debate begin with passion, purpose, and power to make a difference. I would now like to invite Daksh sir to kindly take up. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashvi, for initiating this 42nd parliamentary session of the World Teen Parliament. A very warm welcome to all our guests for today. Before this session really starts, the World Teen Parliament was started in the year 2022. In the last year of 2021, we are working on building the World Teen Parliament. The idea behind it was very simple. Can we really give power to teenagers to change policies globally? And through that, we could understand that it's very important and critical that teenagers start experiencing and experimenting with democracy. Only then our democracies will be healthy enough for the future generations. So before we start this session, let me quickly show you a small little video that will tell you the format of the voting debate. I would request all our guests for today, all the teen debaters, everyone who's here as a voter, as a parent, as a friend, if you're there on the call, do listen to this video carefully. It will tell you the complete format of today's session, and it will help you understand and participate more meaningfully. Give me a moment to share my screen. I hope my screen is visible to you. If it is, give me a thumbs up so that I know you're able to see my screen, and we'll be starting.
Welcome to the World Teen Parliament voting debates. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to experience democracy in action? We've designed a 60 minutes gamified experience where you can live the entire life cycle of a voter. Here's how it works. Participants or contestants kick off the debate by speaking on a thought-provoking topic. Each contestant gets exactly 59 seconds to present their perspective. Once all contestants have spoken, we move into the polling phase. Audience members carefully consider what each contestant has said and cast their votes in a live poll. The contestant with the most votes is crowned the winner and takes on the role of a leader. But the journey doesn't end there. The winner now exercises their power by creating a law, imposing a tax, and providing a subsidy. Now comes the most crucial part. Voters get to share their thoughts on the leader they just elected and reflect on their decisions. What do these actions teach about the power of their vote? This discussion helps participants realize the true weight of their vote and the profound impact of democracy on their lives. It's not just a debate, it's an immersive journey that builds civic awareness, fosters leadership, and brings the principles of democracy to life. Over the past 3 years, the World Teen Parliament voting debates have engaged youth from 35-plus countries and 150-plus cities globally. Join us and experience democracy like never before.
I hope everyone was able to see the complete video and you were able to appreciate the format of today's session. Before we move forward, it's time to listen to our amazing guests for today who have been graceful in accepting our invitation and being here with us. We are very thankful to them for taking out the time and being here with us. Let me invite the first speaker for today to initiate the 42nd parliamentary session, where we'll be discussing a very critical topic about voter turnout bonus. Because most of the youth or the teens across the globe and most of the countries are right now seeing a decline in voter registration. The first time voter thinks democracy is broken. But if we think like that, we lose a very important choice, the choice of deciding who runs our countries and, most importantly, who gets to make decisions for us. So we're asking all the teens to tell their perspective on what do they think. Should voters get a specific tax rebate to come register for a vote and then cast their vote, to encourage them to be a part of vibrant democracies across the globe? Let me invite the first speaker for today to initiate the 42nd parliamentary session of the World Teen Parliament. A very warm welcome to Honorable His Excellency Lyonpo Lungten Dorji, the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly of Bhutan. A very warm welcome, sir. Over to you for the opening address of the 42nd parliamentary session of the World Teen Parliament.
Thank you, Mr. Daksh Gaur, and good evening to Honorable, the Miss Priscilla Moyo and other distinguished guests, and all our members of the World Teen Parliament. I'm deeply honored to address the esteemed global gathering of young leaders at the 42nd parliamentary session of the 4th World Teen Parliament. I extend my sincere gratitude to the organizers led by the Blub World Foundation in partnership with UNESCO, MGIEP, and Save the Children for creating this vital platform where youth voices are not only heard but empowered. Before I begin my reflection on the assigned topic, allow me to briefly introduce my country for those who may not be familiar with it. The Kingdom of Bhutan is a small Himalayan nation nestled between India and China, known for its deep cultural heritage, environmental stewardship, and its unique development philosophy of gross national happiness. Bhutan has gained global recognition for balancing tradition with progress. Since transitioning to a democratic constitutional monarchy in 2008, Bhutan's bicameral parliament, comprising the National Assembly and National Council, has served as a vital pillar of governance guided by the wisdom and leadership of His Majesty the King. Bhutan has made significant strides in youth engagement, beginning with 2013 Youth Initiative for Debate, Deliberation and Development, followed by the 2015 establishment of Bhutan Children's Parliament and over 2,000 democracy clubs. We have created strong platform for youth participation. In 2019, Bhutanese youth engaged directly with the members of parliament and in 2020 contributed to revising the national youth policy with support from UNICEF. In 2023 and 24, school outreach programs and youth leadership recognitions further deepened this commitment. Most notably, under the visionary leadership of His Majesty the King, the Gelsung National Service Program was launched in May 2025 with the aim of equipping every Bhutanese youth with the values, discipline, and professional skill essential for success in the 21st century, thereby empowering them to play a meaningful role in nation building. First and foremost, congratulations to all the elected team members. You are the voice and conscience of your generation, and I commend your dedication to shaping a more just, inclusive, and sustainable world. In Bhutan, we are guided by the philosophy of gross national happiness, which teaches us that true development goes beyond economic measures. It prioritizes human well-being, environmental harmony, cultural preservation, and good governance. I encourage you to let your leadership reflect these values: compassion, balance, and long-term thinking. In today's VUCA world, marked by volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. You face challenges ranging from climate change and inequality to digital disruption and mental health. But in each of you lies not only the burden of these challenges, but also the vision, courage, and hope to overcome them. As young parliamentarians, I urge you to lead with empathy, build bridges, not walls, speak with integrity, let your voice unite, not divide, act with purpose. Your actions matter more than your titles. Listen deeply. True leadership begins with understanding others. Remember, leadership is not about status, it is about service. The future is something you inherit. The future is not something you inherit, but it is something you shape. From the Parliament building of Bhutan to your virtual chambers, I believe the real progress lies in decisions that uphold human dignity, protect the planet, and secure the well-being of both present and future generations. Let your leadership be grounded not only in ambition, but also in wisdom, compassion, and a deep sense of responsibility. Know that the World Teen Parliament is more than a platform. It is a movement with free participation, ensuring every teen has the chance to be heard. World Teen Parliament empowers teens to lead, innovate, and represent. Let your impact ripple across classrooms, communities, and the countries. Thank you, and I'm honored to meet you all today. So, with this short introduction, I am truly honored to be here today. Thank you so much. I'm still in my office, so it was an honor. I thought I should be in the office to honor all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. And it's really amazing to listen to you and you taking out the time to be here with us at the World Teen Parliament. Thank you so much for this amazing start to the 42nd parliamentary session. Today, we are going to experience something very unique because two very dignified leaders have taken out the time and accepted the invitation. We have the Speaker of the Bhutanese Assembly, and we also have the opposition leader of the Bhutanese Assembly. Because when I had a discussion with the opposition leader, he shared a very important insight about Bhutan's Parliament and National Assembly, that it's a very cordial assembly. Because most of the parliaments, if you see across the world, they see a lot of friction happening when there is discussion happening. But Bhutan presents a very different example. So let's now invite the opposition leader from Bhutan to share their opening address for the 42nd parliamentary session. We're very thankful to both the leaders for accepting the invitation for this parliamentary session. We do understand you come from different thought processes, but understanding this and giving each other the space to speak is really appreciable. Thank you so much, sir. Let me now invite Honorable Dasho Pema Chewang, the opposition leader for the National Assembly of Bhutan from Thimphu, Bhutan. Sir, over to you for the opening address of the 42nd parliamentary session.
Greetings from Bhutan. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, because many of the participants, the juries are from different time zones. So on this note, in fact, it's a great privilege for me to attend the 42nd World Teen Parliament. It's such a great honor. And on the same note, I also would like to thank Mr. Daksh for initiating this kind of historic event, an opportunity that you are offering to our youth, the future leaders of the world. And also to the jury, Honorable Moyo from Zimbabwe, and Miss Sakshi. I don't think she's audible here, but welcome to this platform. And I think initially, Ashif Gupta has ignited this discussions. She spoke very loud and very clear, very powerful opening. Thank you so much for that. And in fact, like I don't have much to say because like our honorable speaker of the National Assembly of Bhutan, he spoke about Bhutan's democracy and the philosophy of grossness, happiness. I don't want to repeat all these things. But as Daksh has already mentioned, like during our last brief interactions through Zoom, we said like Bhutan is a very unique country in the sense our democracy is very young, and currently we are in the fourth parliament, and here we are trying to set an example how the government and the opposition has to work. During the election time, both the parties has got different agenda in order to garner votes. But once you garner the votes and form the party, one will be opposition, one will be ruling. But once the election is over, I think both the ruling and the opposition MPs has to work as a team for the citizens. And that's what we are trying to create, that narrative in the present parliament. As a parliament, as a member of the parliament, we have three roles. One is representations, because we represent the voters, our constituents. We represent their voice for the voiceless. Second, we have the oversight functions, meaning if the government comes up with any policies, rules, and regulations that doesn't align to the long-term vision of His Majesty or doesn't benefit the public, then we oppose and provide constructive feedbacks to the government. Third function is the legislative. We amend the laws, enact the laws, all this. So these are the three main functions of the MPs, member of the parliament. And teenagers of today, I think you have a very vital role. You have a voice. As a member of the parliament, teenagers today have unmatched power. You are connected, creative, and courageous. Whether it's a climate action, digital justice, or inclusion, you're not waiting to lead, you already are. If you ever feel uncertain, remember, seek guidance. For me, I had my mentor throughout my journey, from the global organizations, from my community level, at my national level. I think we need to seek guidance. And one thing that as a teens, you should know that you don't know. Don't pretend that you know everything. Many of the MPs, they feel like they know everything. But one thing that you have to accept is you should also know that you don't know one thing. I also know that I don't know. So this is one aspect that as the politicians, you have to be very frank. My hope is to see you champion local change from your schools, communities, and networks. I also welcome you to connect with us in Bhutan, exchange ideas, and possibly youth engagement programs. Let me end by saying, in the debate between merit and democracy, we must balance ability with accessibility. Leadership must be both competent and connected to the people. As a member of the parliament, your conscience has to be clear. Right principle with high integrity. You have to serve with purpose for the large interest. Your personal gains has to be left behind. On this note, thank you so much, Daksh, for giving this opportunity. And I look forward to working with you and the World Teen Parliament in future as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Dasho Pema. You're very right when you say the integrity of a member of parliament is far more important than the intelligence, than the capability, than everything. And the simple idea or the appreciation of the fact that you don't know everything is very critical. All the teenagers who are here, we know that you're filled with confidence. You have the right kind of energy, but do keep this caveat in mind that you might not know everything. This is what will help you grow in life. Thank you so much, sir, for the initiation of the 42nd Parliamentary session. Let me now invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome, and thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting this invitation. A very warm welcome to Honorable Mrs. Priscilla Moyo, the Member of Parliament from the Parliament of Zimbabwe, Harare, Zimbabwe. Ma'am, over to you for initiating the 42nd Parliamentary session with your opening address. A very warm welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Honorable President, distinguished guests, esteemed educators, respected parents, and most importantly, our inspiring teen parliamentarians. It is both an honor and a privilege to address you as this Parliament conference, an initiative that reflects not just our commitment to inclusive governance, but our belief in profound potential of young people. I stand before you not only as a member of Parliament, but as a steward of national vision and a firm believer in youth leadership. Today's gathering is not symbolic, it is a declaration. Young people are not future leaders, they are leaders now. The power of the platform. The World Teen Parliament is more than a simulation. It is a it is a transformative platform where young minds like yours engage directly with policymakers, educators, and civil society. It is here that you debate the most pressing issues of our time, which are violence, economic disparity, climate change, drug abuse, digital transformation. You have a duty to develop skills that will guide your generation in a future none of us can yet fully imagine. Here in Zimbabwe, we have powerful precedents, which are child parliament and the parliamentary youth caucus. These platforms have raised awareness on child marriages, abuse, youth empowerment, inclusive policy making, and have brought youth voices into national development. Teen parliaments symbolize a recognition of the capabilities and insights of young in addressing contemporary challenges, and statistically, young people who participate in governance and are more likely to remain engaged citizens into adulthood. Your voice speak with courage and conviction. Your voice is your power. Speak against injustice wherever you find it is, in your schools, in your communities, and online. Use your voice to demand equal access to education, gender equality, representation, and human rights for all. It is vital that teen parliamentarians represent diverse demographics, including ethnicity, socioeconomic status, and geographical differences. For example, the African Union's Youth Envoy showcases youth from various backgrounds across the continent to ensure policies reflect the multiplicity of experiences in Africa. Teen MPs should establish regular communication with their peers to remain aware of pressing issues and promote transparency. Rely on data and facts to support your arguments when proposing policies and provide sustainable solutions. For example, the Youth Parliament in Zimbabwe conducts public surveys and holds open forums to gather youth opinions on proposed policies, ensuring everyone has a voice. Silence in the face of injustice is complicity. Vision. Think beyond borders. Envision the world you want to live in by 2030. Draft policies that bridge nations, tackle global inequality, and push for a more sustainable, inclusive, and a just world. Policies should focus on long-term benefits and sustainability, addressing environmental, social, and economic issues. For example, policies aimed at climate change mitigation influencing local government practices regarding recycling and renewable energy. Teen MPs must engage in workshops and seminars to build leadership, public speaking, and advocacy skills for skill development. You may set up workshops for pairing with government MPs to guide you in navigating political landscapes and developing effective strategies and provide mentorship. Additionally, teen MPs can benefit from international networks that connect youth leaders to share insights, strategies. For example, the Global Youth Summit gathers young leaders from around the world to discuss common challenges and collaborate on solutions for global issues such as climate change and education. When teen parliaments unite for global causes, they can amplify their voices, and create a larger impact. Values. Lead with integrity and inclusivity. True leadership is rooted in respect, accountability, and humanity. Lead with ethics, debate with passion, not hostility, and champion the ideals of fairness and transparency. The digital advantage, a generation connected. Technology has transformed leadership. Today, digital platforms are your megaphones, your bridges, your policy forums as teen parliamentarians. Collaborate across borders, host virtual parliamentary sessions on platforms like Zoom or Teams. Promote transparency, share debates and policy proposals with your peers online. Create content, educate others through blogs, podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, etc. Lead campaigns, initiate digital movements, awareness weeks, or petitions. Foster inclusion, ensure rural and marginalized youth are part of the digital advocacy. Since Zimbabwe, we are mostly in our most teens are in the rural areas. Use of digital world responsibility promotes dialogue, verify facts, and combats cyberbullying and hate speech. Education, not just a path to empowerment, but a tool for empowerment. Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Use it just to find jobs, but to create them, to solve community problems, and to reshape society. The role of adults, catalysts for change. To parents, educators, and mentors, you are the backbone behind every prepared teen MP. Your beliefs transform potential into action. We urge you to encourage civil literacy at home and in school. Create youth participation opportunities such as debate, clubs, councils, mentorship. Inspire ethical resilience and courageous young leaders. The global impact of youth leadership. Globally, people under 30 make up less than 3% of parliamentarians. This must change. And that change starts with you parliamentarians. In Zimbabwe, the Youth Caucus serves as a bridge between young aspirants and national legislation. It champions reforms on employment, education, mental health, and ensures government accountability. Major challenge, be the change. To our teen MPs, the world may underestimate you, but history favors the bold. Let this conference be remembered not for its speeches, but for the policies you write, partnerships you forge, and progress you ignite. Let this parliament be a movement where youth are essential, not symbolic, where debate drives development, where diversity fuels innovation, where dialogue becomes action. Our president, President Idi Mnangagwa's mantra is leave no one and no place behind. I thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your opening address for the 42nd parliamentary session. The parliamentary session today constitutes majorly of the voting debate. So before we start the voting debate, let's now listen to our fourth guest for today. And a big thank you to them as well for accepting the invitation. A very warm welcome to Ms. Sheena Kapoor, the Head of Marketing, Corporate Communications and CSR at ICICI Lombard from Mumbai, Maharashtra, India. Sheena, ma'am, over to you for the opening address. And then we'll go into the voting debate session. Ma'am, over to you. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
Hi, Daksh. Thank you so much for inviting me and a very warm welcome, first and foremost, to the dignitaries, and the honorable distinguished guests and members of parliament from Bhutan. I have to say, sir, Bhutan is one of the most beautiful countries that I have visited, and I can totally believe why it has one of the highest happiness questions. and it's actually measured on the GDP on the happiness quotient, and I can understand why it's such a God's own country. And it was wonderful listening, to Honorable Miss Priscilla Moyo as well. And I think a huge round of congratulations to all these budding, future leaders and stars from across the world. For me, I'm not so much from the parliament and from a policy standpoint, but as a policy, what I understand is as a marketer, now we're, into issuing policies from an insurance standpoint, which is all about protection. We and I, thank you, Daksh, for inviting me here. I think, even as India, and we've recently taken over as now the fourth largest economy in the country, with 4 trillion GDP economy, with the fastest growing. A lot of this rests on future laurels of how to sustain this kind of growth, and that can only come from a demographic, a very young demographic, fortunately, that India also boasts about, which is again, a large part of it, of kids, millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, who are future leaders of tomorrow, and in whose reigns the country would be running and bestowed upon. So I think, we stand at a pivotal moment in history. The world is changing faster than ever. When, even as an insurer, one looks at risks from different aspects, there are new emerging risks. We talked about climate risks, which are now running into trillions of dollars of natural catastrophe related, damages. You're talking about cybersecurity risks. We're talking about artificial intelligence, and how there is great advent of technology and what it means as compelling narrative and forces and use cases for business and otherwise, but also the policies from an ethical and governance standpoint that comes with when you have the dark belly of technology. It can be a great weapon, or a great tool in the right hands. And we've seen, what deep fakes could do as well. So the world is really changing at an exponential pace. What we're witnessing today in the history of mankind, especially with the AI, this is once in a century kind of a phenomena, and it's truly, truly a game changer. What we also see a lot of geopolitical tension, whether you're talking about, and it's heartbreaking, whether you're talking about Russia, Ukraine, what's happening in Southeast, what's happening in Middle East, what's happening in across, and even in our neighboring country. Up until a couple of months ago, we had escalating tensions. What that means is, from a geopolitical standpoint, is you're talking about conflict and management of conflict. You're talking about a mindset which, from policymakers, and you're talking about bringing about a shift which is towards managing that conflict and towards peace. But peace and progress going hand in hand. It calls for, from poverty to polarization, the calls for bold, compassionate, and visionary leadership. And it's not just a call which is, meant and limited to, government dignitaries or judiciary. It's for you. It's really for the youth of India and for the, across the world, for different, global counterparts. You're not just the leaders of the future. I think we look at all the teens around as the leaders now, because of the voice, from long-standing problems, the courage to question the status quo, to question what older generations, perhaps the generations of my kind, that we have, and a lot of the manufacturing and service industries, the kind of a huge conflict and global pollution, that they have been responsible for. It is your voice as global citizens that can fiercely advocate for justice, equity, sustainability. And that is why I think a parliament exists. And this is not just a simulated environment. I think this is a platform to empower you, to unite all of us, and to amplify the impact. I think here is where ideas could become blueprints for action. I think here, if we debate the pressing civic and global issues of our time, how do we protect our planet? How do we create a greener future for the likes of your generation and the generations to come forth? How do you transition to green energy? Not just greenwashing, which a lot of corporates today are doing. It's whitewashing as a term, and there's greenwashing as a term. There is a lot of, yes, we're doing stuff for sustainability, but a lot of corporates today are not walking the talk. How do you uphold, human rights in a world that's increasingly challenged by authoritarianism, war, misinformation, and discrimination, and a lot of biases and prejudices that exist? I think we must also ask ourselves, how do we harness the technology for good while safeguarding the privacy, and have an entire resolution around ethics and governance? How do you empower youth voices in politics, especially in regions where they may be silenced or ignored? I think these are not just questions for someone else to solve. I think they're for all of us and for you to grapple with courageously and collaboratively. This parliament, to my mind, is not just a model of what global cooperation could look like. I think it's a promise. When young people are given the tools, the voice, the platform, the forum, and the trust, they truly can shape a better world. I'm reminded of a quote by Albert Einstein, who mentioned that education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. That is education, according to Albert Einstein. So I urge you today to speak boldly, listen deeply, and lead with empathy. Respect your differences, but be united in purpose. Your words and decisions here can inspire movements, change minds, and spark innovation across borders. I think the Teen World Parliament is a brilliant platform. Congratulations to all, and for imagining a better world and by building it together. I am extremely excited to hear your views. And without further ado, I hand it over to Daksh. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sheena. I hope you have the access of the Google Sheet where you have to give the teenagers the marks. Super. So we would request you to update the marks as and when you typically judge them, so that our team can collate them in real time. So all the teenagers, get ready. I hope this is the most exciting part of the parliamentary session, where you get to debate on a topic. And typically, remember, the individual, each voting debate has two winners, one based on merit that our jury will decide. They will give you marks on 3 or 4 parameters: your content, your relevance, and your confidence and delivery. And the second winner comes from democracy, or votes. You get to experience two very important phenomena that happen in our society every single day: meritocracy and democracy. Remember, the person who's meritorious gets the maximum marks, gets into an Ivy League university, and then lands into an amazing job. But remember, countries are run by people who have the capability to mobilize people. That's the most important skill that you need in democracy. If people vote for you, if they come together for you, that's where leadership starts of really operating nations. So let's see what happens today, who gets to win. And remember, the voted winner gets to decide on the topic, that what really happens to a voter turnout bonus. I hope you're all ready. Over to Archisha for taking the session forward. Archisha, when you announce each speaker, do take their name and repeat their serial numbers, so that the jury can easily, collate that who's speaking, and they can give their marks accordingly. Archisha, over to you.
All right, I hope I'm audible, sir. A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you are in the world, and a warm namaste. My name is Archisha Tripathi. I am from Indian Language School, Lagos, Nigeria, and a member of Parliament at the 4th World Teen Parliament. And it is my honor and pleasure to welcome all our esteemed dignitaries for today to this 42nd World Teen Parliament parliamentary session, which is a voting debates. And starting off, without further ado, our speaker, who is the first for today, is Navya Sharma. Navya, the stage is yours.
Namaste. I'm Navya Sharma of class 9th from Dharav High School, Jaipur. Democracy thrives on duty, not discounts. Are we seriously suggesting that the youth will only care about their future if there's a tax tax rebate on it? Are we spelling patriotism? Buy one vote, get one rebate free? Voting is not a transaction, it's a responsibility. If we start paying people to vote, what's next? Cashback for protesting? Coupons for holding a flag? Critics say this will increase turnout. But at what cost? We are building a generation that equates duty with discounts, not values. And what about the poor, the elderly who don't file taxes? Why should they be excluded from incentives? The ballot is not a bill. So stop trying to put a price tag on patriotism. Thank you.
Wow, that was a whirlwind of words and wisdom. Well done, and thank you, Navya, for your amazing insight. Next up is our speaker number two, and that is Soumya Narang. Soumya, your sprint starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, this is me Soumya, a 12th grader from Transform Academy, Uttar Pradesh, India, and I am speaking against the motion. Giving tax rebates to 18 to 25 years old might sound really smart, but it's a quick fix to a long term issue. Voting is a duty, not a deal, and turning it into a transaction cheapens democracy. Most in this age doesn't even pay taxes. So who are we really rewarding? This creates inequality and this bigger picture. Low turnout isn't due to the lack of money, but the lack of awareness. If we truly want youth to participate, we should give them a reason to care, not a reason to cash in. Today, it's a rebate. Tomorrow, will we be paying people to follow laws? So, let's not put a price on patriotism. Our vote is our voice, not a voucher. If we need a rebate to care about our country, the problem isn't voting, it's us. Thank you so much. That's all.
That was short, sharp, and sensational. Thank you so much for that amazing address. Next up is our speaker number three, which is Ashi Gupta. Ashi, take center stage.
Hello everyone. I stand firmly against giving tax rebates to 18 to 25-year-olds for voting. Voting isn't a Netflix subscription where you get rewarded for logging in. It's a responsibility that shapes our world. If we start paying people to vote, what will happen next? Cashback for reading news? Loyalty points for following politics? Democracy runs on consciousness and informed choices, not bribes dressed up as bonuses. When we applied to join the World Teen Parliament, we each submitted a 1 minute video on how we'd like to change the world. Many of us spoke about climate change, mental health, equality, issues we deeply care about, not because we were paid, but because we care. Turning voting into a transaction insults this very activism our generation stands for. If someone needs money to care about their country, the issue isn't voter turnout, it's political engagement. Fix that and don't sell participation. Thank you.
Ashi, that was the most amazing mic drop moment I have ever seen. Next up is our fourth speaker for today, and that is Samriddhi Tiwari. Samriddhi, the mic is all yours.
Hello, my name is Samriddhi Tiwari. I'm an MP at the 4th World Teen Parliament, and I believe that tax rebates encourage people to just vote for the sake of it, and they promote mindlessness. Like Honorable Dasha Pema said, there needs to be a deeper purpose to what we're doing, and this is what tax rebates removes this deeper purpose. It'll enable people to mindlessly vote without really learning how to elect a proper leader, leaving us with irreliable leaders. And is that the future that we really hope for?
Well, if words were weapons, you just conquered the battlefield of ideas. Thank you so much for that amazing speech. Next up, we have Anushka Bishnoi, who is the fifth speaker for today. Anushka, the stage is yours.
Hello to all. I'm Anushka Bishnoi, an MP of the World Teen Parliament, studying in 9th Standard at Sena Point School, Vardhaman Nagar, Nagpur. And I oppose tax rebates for 18 to 25-year-olds. Voting is a duty, not a favor. Do we reward our parents for taking care of us? Other than good grades, of course. Rewarding youth with tax relief sabotages the very spirit of democracy. It is also unfair to diligent taxpayers over 25 who receive no rebates, creating unnecessary frustration and protest. Even if we provide just the 10% of the taxes The cost of the proposal is 115 billion rupees, money that should be better spent on building schools and hospitals instead. Should we prioritize short term initiatives over national progress? Lastly, if someone does not vote, they silence their voice, not the nation's. Let us inspire a generation to vote out of belief, not for compensation. Duty should never come with a discount. Thank you.
And now that is what I call turning 59 seconds into an absolute master speech. Thank you so much, Anushka. Next up, we have our sixth speaker for today, and that is Ansh Gulati. Ansh, your sprint starts in 3, 2, and 1.
Respected judges and fellow members of parliament, I'm Ansh Gulati and I stand for the motion. You say voting is a right. We say make it feel like it's worth the swipe. We're the generation that made memes into movements, yet voter turnout among 18 to 25-year-olds is barely 45%. Why? Because we're told your vote matters right after being told you're too young to understand politics. Give us a reason to show up. A tax rebate isn't a bribe, it's the signal that the system sees us, not just uses us for Instagram reels. We get discounts for being students, subsidies for EVs, cashbacks for UPIs, and GST cuts for popcorn at the movies, but not for stepping into a polling booth. Is watching Fast and Furious more nation building than voting? If the government can give us 2,000 rupees for buying a pressure cooker, they can give us 500 rupees for pressuring the government to change. Call it a nudge, call it a spark, call it what it is, a return on civic investment. Because if the youth are expected to fix democracy, then don't just preach, pay up. Thank you.
And a speech like that deserves a standing ovation. What a powerful and precise speech. Next up is the seventh speaker for today, and that is Chanel Fernando. Chanel, start your speech.
Greetings to all of you present here today. I'm Shinal Fernando from Sri Lanka, MP at the 4th World Teen Parliament, and I strongly stand against this topic. Voting is a right, not a retail offer. Should we really put a price tag on democracy? Giving tax rebates to 18 to 25-year-olds sends the wrong message. That civic duty is something to be bribed, not believed in. Yes, youth turnover is low, but the solution isn't payment. Is empowerment, better civic education, real representation, and trust that our voices matter. If older generations don't get paid to vote, isn't it unfair to them? Intergenerational justice means fairness, not favors for one group. We are not here to fix turnover for a fee. We are here to lead by choice. Don't pay us to vote. Listen to us, educate us, respect us, and we will show up. Thank you.
Wow, you just elevated the standard of the debate. Thank you so much, Chanel. Next up is the eighth speaker for today, and that is Arunima Das. Arunima, take the stage.
All the Teen MPs present here today. My name is Arunima Das, an MP at the 4th World Teen Parliament, studying in grade 10 at Indian School Al Gubra, Muscat, Oman. I respectfully propose the idea of offering tax rebates to 18 to 25-year-olds for simply voting. Democracy is both a right and a responsibility. We should take part in it as it matters, not because there's a financial reward at the other end. While tax rebates might seem appealing to a younger audience and younger voters, the idea of being rewarded for doing something right is tempting. But voting is not a product to be sold. If we tie civic participation to money, we risk turning voting from a public duty to a private transaction. Then where do we draw the line between tax rebates and bribery? Instead of financial incentives, let's invest in civic education and give young people the knowledge and confidence to vote because they want to, not because they're paid to. Thank you.
Well, that is how you drop jaws in under a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Arunima, for your amazing speech. Next up, we have Onyebuchu Udechukwu. Please take center stage. Onyebuchi, are you there in the meeting? All right, I think not. So moving on, the 10th speaker for today is Gauri Gopal. Gauri, the mic is all yours.
Hello everyone, I'm MP Gauri Gopal of Class 10 Chinmay Vidyalaya Vadutala, and this is my view on the topic. So, democracy is not something you should be paid to participate in. Voting is our responsibility as citizens. How can we throw away something that our ancestors fought so hard to give us? I mean, I personally cannot wait to vote, to choose how I want to or who I want to lead the nation. And as young people, we should feel proud and empowered to take part in decisions which affect us and not expect rewards. The government has limited funds, and this money should be invested in healthcare and education and programs that actually help the youth in the long run. And voting is one of the few things that makes everyone equal, be it the young, the old, the rich, or the poor. And this paid action completely destroys their equality. So, to conclude, I believe that we should all vote because it's our right, our responsibility, and our chance to shape the world, and not because there's money involved. Thank you.
Was it a cow? Was it a train? Nope, that was Gauri giving her amazing speech on the topic. Thank you so much, Gauri. Next up, our 11th speaker for the day is Akshita Agarwal. Akshita, take the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Akshita Agrawal from Indian Language School, grade 11. So, should 18 to 25-year-old get a tax bonus just for voting? Honestly, no, because voting is a responsibility, not a cashback offer. If we start giving tax rebates for voting, what's next? Free pizza for doing homework? A vacation for taking out the trash? We don't get paid to follow traffic rules, right? Same with voting. It's part of being a responsible adult. Plus, if you only vote for money, are you really voting with your brain? Let's not turn democracy into a discount scheme. Vote because it matters, not because there's a prize. Thank you.
Quick, sharp, and straight up. Awesome. Thank you so much, Akshita, for your speech. Next up, the 12th speaker for today we have is Inshanvi Ray. Inshanvi, please take the stage.
Namaste. I'm Shanvi Roy, the Member of Parliament at the 4th World Teen Parliament. So here's the thing. Giving a tax rebate to 18 to 25-year-olds just for voting sounds nice, but let's be honest. Voting is a civic duty, not a paid assignment. So if we start rewarding basic responsibilities, we will soon be handing out the coupons for not littering. And let's not forget, this rebate will come from the ruling government. So who is it really, an insensitive or just a clear way to buy votes? Political parties could easily use it as a tool to build loyalty that goes completely against the idea of free and fair elections. Also, most young people don't even pay income tax. So, who exactly is benefiting here? And for those who do, imagine the economic burden of rewarding millions just for doing what they are supposed to. At this rate, the government will need a rebate. So, in the end, voting should come from awareness, not offers. We need responsible citizens, not cashback voters. Thank you so much.
Wow, what a way to grab attention and hold it till the very end. Thank you so much, Inshanvi, for your wonderful insights. Next up, the 13th speaker for today we have is Azam Rasool. Azam, the mic is all yours.
Greetings there. This is Azam Rasool, and I rise in firm, unapologetic opposition to this motion. Because what we are debating here isn't just a tax rebate, it is the price of dignity, it is the cost of principle. And I refuse to put a barcode on belief. Voting is not a transaction, it is a declaration that I count, I care, and I contribute. Bribing youth with rebates to vote doesn't inspire engagement, it manufactures obedience. We reward extra efforts, not expected duties. We don't reward breathing, and we should not reward balance. If you think the youth won't without money, maybe it's not apathy, maybe it's alienation. And if democracy needs to buy back its youth, it's already sold out something for more valuable, that's trust. And I believe in a future where youth vote not because they're paid, but because they own the power they carry, and it is a simple manipulation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those amazing words, and that was a very thought provoking speech. Next, we will go back to our 9th speaker for today, and that is Onyebuchi Udechukwu. Please take center stage.
My name is Sujesh Konyebuchi. what I'm going to talk about is should 18 to 25 years old get tax rebates in voting in national election? The answer for me is yes. This is because a good number of them have the ability to positively impact the society and not just being famous. Leadership is not about popularity, but it's the ability to serve your citizens selflessly. The 18 to 25 are the one more closer to the youth and elders. They'll be able to carry everyone along. They may not have money, they may not come from a wealthy background, but they have a good idea that will benefit the citizens and improve their well-being. Implementation tax rebates will be very beneficial to young adults, especially those who are struggling for financial burden. Thanks.
Well, if this was a race, you just set a new record with those stellar points. Thank you so much for your amazing speech. Next up, we have the 14th speaker for today, and that is MP Shaveen Silva. Shaveen, take the stage.
Everyone present here today. I'm Bishan Sir from the Fourth World in Parliament, St. Thomas's Catholic International College, Sidhu. Yes, 18 to 25-year-olds should receive tax for rebates for voting in national elections. Youth vote turnout is consistently among the lowest worldwide, not because of apathy but due to real obstacles, financial stress, student debt, insecure jobs, and feeling of political disconnection. A tax rebate serves as a positive incentive, not a bribe. It recognizes the financial struggles young people face while encouraging them to engage in the democratic process early. When young people vote, they develop lifelong civic habits, ensuring more representatives and responsive governance for years to come. Importantly, today's discussion on the climate change, education, and the economy will affect their future the most. Boosting youth turnout ensures their voices help shape these policies. This isn't about buying votes, it's about rewarding participation and strengthening democracy. If we can incentive good behavior in many areas like education, health, or green energy, why not apply the same principle to voting, the cornerstone of democracy? Thank you.
That speech was not just a statement, it was an absolutely beautiful performance. Next up, our 15th speaker for today is Devansh Kumar. Devansh, the spotlight is all yours.
Good evening, respected chair and fellow delegates. My name is Devansh Kumar and I am an influencer at the Fourth World Teen Parliament. And I stand firmly against giving tax rebates to 18 to 25-year-olds for voting. Voting is a right, not a reward. You don't pay people to be responsible citizens. Most youth in this age group don't pay significant taxes, so a rebate is meaningless. It's like giving a fuel voucher to someone without a vehicle. A study showed that offering money for voting can reduce people's intrinsic motivation to participate in democracy. This is proven in Kenya. Financial incentives for voting led to short-term participation, but long-term disengagement. If we start rewarding votes with money, where do we stop? Do we pay people to serve jury duty, follow traffic laws, or be patriotic? Let's not reduce democracy to a discount. We need awareness, not allowances, and we need conviction, not compensation. Thank you.
Wow, your words have left us inspired and eager for more. What an amazing contribution. And last, and but most certainly not the least, we have the 16th and final speaker for today, and that is Shivansh Singhal. Shivansh, the spotlight is all yours.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Shivansh Singhal, and I am the currently influencer at Fourth World in Parliament. As wisely said by Abraham Lincoln, the ballot is stronger than the bullet. And yet, only about half of 18 to 25 years old actually vote in national elections. Do you all know the reason why? Because they feel disconnected, unheard, and uninspired. A tax rebate isn't just money, it's a signal that their voice matters. Just like we reward eco friendly choices with incentives, why not encourage civic duty the same way? A small rebate can ignite lifelong participation, creating a politically aware generation. This isn't buying votes, it's investing in democracy. Reward the vote and build the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shivansh. And that was all of our speakers for today. Thank you to everyone who sat here with us and listened in. And thank you to all the speakers and debaters of today for sharing your ideas and insights. This is my time, people. My name is Archana Tripathi, and I hand over to Mr. Daksh for the remaining. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Archisha, for that amazing moderation. You kept the whole session superbly interesting. Thank you so much for that effort. So, everyone, are you ready now? I hope you've listened to all the debaters. Now, all the audience and everyone on this call, you get the power to decide who wins today's debate. Before we go into the voting session, I would request all our jury members today to please update the Google Sheet with the final marks that we have given to the teenagers so that our team can finally collate the marks. Today's debate was really skewed towards one side. Let's see what the people decide, what everyone here on the call decides. Before we open the voting lines, everyone, please note, when we open the voting lines, you'll see a pop-up box in front of you on your screen. Don't close that. Keep that open. You will have to only click on the name of the individual that you want to cast your vote for. If you close that box, you might not be able to access it again. Most importantly, everyone who's there on the call, whether you are an audience, whether you are a debater, whether you are a part of the jury, whichever role you are in, you can vote for somebody that you liked. Now, your vote will typically decide the democratic winner, and the jury will decide the meritocratic winner. So we'll have two winners today, one based on merit and the other based on democracy. So are you all ready? You hope we'll have amazing winners today. If you think so, get ready. We'll be opening the polls in some time, and you'll see a white little box in front of you with the list of names of all the speakers today. And you have to just click on the name of the individual that you want to cast your vote for. Remember, this box won't be open for a very long duration. So during the time that you're able to see it, cast your vote quickly and do not miss the opportunity to vote. I would request the team, please open the poll, and the poll is open in front of you. Everyone, please cast your vote to the individual that you want should win this debate. I'll just read out the names again. Navya Sharma, Soumya Narang, Ashi Gupta, Samriddhi Tiwari, Anushka Bishnoi, Ansh Gulati, Shenol Fernando, Arunima Das, Onebuchi Uberechuku, Gauri Gopal, Akshita Agrawal, Ishanvi Ray, Aizam Rasool, Shavin Silva, Devansh Kumar, and Shivansh Singhal. You'll be all happy to know that 51% of the people on this call have already casted their vote. So if you haven't, do it right away. I hope all of you have voted. If you have not casted your vote, make sure that you cast your vote right away. 75% of the people have already casted their vote. If you have not, do it right away. Your vote will typically decide who gets to win this debate and who gets to decide whether all the teen voters or the young voters get a tax rebate or they don't get a tax rebate. Whoever wins makes the decision because that's the way democracy works. Every voter has a chance to elect the leader of their choice, but once elected, the leader has the power to decide things for you, and you have to remember, you will have to comply with every single decision. You don't get a choice to complying to a decision or not, and that is why democracy has very unique experiences for a voter. Some of them get superbly excited, some might lose hope, some might get disappointed, but that's the voter life cycle. When this call comes to an end, go back home, talk to your parents. What happens when they cast their vote? What do they feel when a government comes into power? So today, during this voting debate, based on your experience, cast your vote. We'll be closing the voting lines in a very quick while. So 82% of the people on the call have already cast their vote. I'll now begin the countdown. So the final 10 seconds for your voting start now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I would request the team to please close the poll and preserve the results. Don't show the results right now. And I would also request the team to evaluate the jury marks, that has the jury decided that who wins this debate based on merit. So is everyone ready? Do you really want to know who is the jury winner? Do you all want to know? If you want to know, give me a thumbs up. Only when you give me a thumbs up, I'll announce the jury winner or we'll end the call. Okay, so everyone wants to know who is the winner based on the jury's marks. So remember, the jury has voted on, given their marks on 3 parameters: the content, the relevance, and your delivery or your confidence. So you'll be a winner based on merit. The jury that we have today understands democracy, leadership, oratory like no one else. They are the people who have the core ability to mobilize people. And that is why they sit in the seat of power. You have to remember, getting into power is a skill of its own. So they have that skill. So as a jury winner, if you get to win this debate, you're being judged by the most capable people on the face of this earth. It's very difficult to get into power or become a member of parliament. So it's time to now announce the winner based on merit. So I would request the team to send the name to me of the winner so that I can announce. Superb, I've got the names. Many congratulations to the current member of parliament of the 4th World Teen Parliament. The winner for today's voting debate based on merit is Ansh Gulati. So congratulations, Ansh. You are the one who took the debate to a different direction and the jury liked you. So that means elected people who understand public emotion gave you the maximum marks. This tells a lot about your understanding of the topic. What are your thoughts on it? Did you expect this to happen?
No, sir, because depending on all, because when I saw everybody's speeches, everybody went against it. And I kind of predicted this, that everybody will go on the same path. I didn't want to follow the same path. And uh, if you get tax rebates for voting, obviously it's going to encourage people. It's not a bribe.
Superb. Yes, it's not a bribe. When you get cash back on UPI payments, when you get it everywhere, why should you not get for going and voting in an election? And you're very right. When we, invite members of parliament from different countries on this very forum, when we have their briefing meetings, most of them tell us that the teen voter registration is declining. There has to be, and there have to be serious steps to involve youth into democracy. Most of the youth across the globe feel democracy is broken. Let's see what the people today on this call think. I'll now invite, before we announce the jury winner, before we announce the voted winner, you have to understand Ansh has won based on jury marks or merit. He gets a certificate, but the power to decide whether there will be a voter turnout bonus or not will go to the one who gets the maximum votes, the way it happens in a parliament. We are hopeful that it's a different winner, but it could be Ansh himself. So before we move ahead, Ansh, do you think you have got the maximum votes as well?
I'm not sure, sir, but since I took it to a very different path, I think there's a chance, maybe.
Did you take the effort of inviting people to vote for you?
No, sir, that's actually just buying votes. And if we're actually paying people to give a vote, why should we buy people for them? Why should we double pay them?
You're very right. Why should we double pay them? But you have to understand, lobbying and bringing people together, for you is absolutely allowed in democracy. So we also allow that at the voting debates, that yes, if you think you can get a critical mass of people to come together for you, this is power and you must be able to enjoy that power. But congratulations, Ansh. The jury decided you to win. Before I announce the voted winner, let me ask a quick question to our jury members today. What do they think? Does meritocracy work more or democracy work more? What would they prefer? A meritorious government or a democratic government? What are their thoughts on it? Let's first invite Honorable Speaker Lungten, Dorji, for his thoughts, that what does he think? Does a meritorious government work better or a democratic government work better?
Thank you. Thank you, Daksh. Witnessing the debate, I must congratulate all of you. You have all been wonderful speakers. You have all demonstrated that, whether to speak for the motion or against the motion, you all had very strong arguments. So we congratulate each one of you for for speaking up and for articulating the topic very well. So I must congratulate all of you. To Ansh Gulati, so congratulations to you. You have presented your view very powerfully. So, and now to say that I think many of you were against the motion. So that is one thing that you all opted for meritocracy and, rather than giving some kind of incentive to vote for. So you all mentioned that, including Ansh Gulati, that it is our civic duty to vote, to go and vote and choose the right person, not the, something that you may like, but to go for the right person is the right thing to do, I think. So I must congratulate Ansh Gulati for your very powerful argument. And as I said to everyone, don't lose hope. You all presented your views very powerfully. So my congratulations to all of you. Thank you, Ansh.
Thank you so much, John, for your and yes, everyone had some amazing views to express. Again, I would like to ask the question to the next jury member. What do they think? Does merit work more or does democracy work more? Honorable Dasho Pema Chewang, the opposition leader from Bhutan, what's your thought, sir? If the government was decided by a jury, will it be better, or the government decided by people is better? Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. In fact, as a jury, it was very difficult decisions to give marks. In fact, all the MP speakers, they spoke very well. The level of confidence, the clarity, the relevance to the content was too good. In fact, overall, it was A+ to all the speakers. And I would like to congratulate to each and every one of the speakers. You spoke very well. And also, I also would like to offer my congratulations to Ansh Gulati for winning the jury perspective, the meritocracy. And coming to your question, Daksh, meritocracy or the democracy? Well, ultimately, the voters has to be educated. If the voters are educated, I'm sure even the democracy will also work. It depends on the voters' education, how aware they are, whether to elect the capable leaders, capable MPs, or on the empathy-based, saying, oh, he is my relative, I'll vote for him. So this is the trend that is happening, especially in our context. But globally, I don't know how it works. But to me, ultimately, the public will decide. The democracy will work in the election of the leaders. The democracy will work. But meritocracy will work only in the public sector, the civil servants. Because there you select the capable people. But for the democracy, for the MPs, they have to connect to the voters, how they can connect, have empathy, listen to their voices, whether it's right or wrong, whether you can do it or not do it. You can give false promises, lot of pledges, which is not warranted, cannot deliver once you get elected. That is the civic sense, I think. So that's why, ultimately, it's the democracy that matters the most when we elect a leader. So here, meritocracy will not work. So I'm sure the results will be declared soon. So that time, I'm sure, but I wish Ansh Gulati all the best, and I hope the public must have voted for you based on your delivery, your confidence. So with this, I would like to thank once more to Das for giving us such an opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Dasho Pema. And you're very right that we all hope that our thoughts really get transformed into a government. We all hope that when we judge somebody based on certain parameters, we all hope we get the government of our choice. And yes, at the World Teen Parliament, we've conducted more than 100 voting debates till now across many countries, because every Tuesday and Wednesday we do these voting debates across different nations, across Egypt, Japan, Spain. From all these countries, we have teenagers. And it has always surprised us. And, all of the times, 100% of the time, the jury winner and the democratic winner have been different. They have never been the same. That's the experience, but we're not sure what happens today. It could be a different result. Let's see what happens. Let me have the other speakers for a quick remark on what do they think. Do they think a democratic leader is better or a meritorious leader is better? Over to Honorable Mrs. Priscilla for a quick remark on the question that what does she think? Meritorious leader or a democratic leader? What will have a better, role in the governance?
Thank you very much. This was a very good debate. Everybody put their effort. I saw that everybody was a winner. And I know it's very difficult to come up with a winner. But in my own opinion, I think democracy stands because you need to give people a chance to win, to choose their own leader. Yeah. Yes, in public office, yes, that's when you can choose somebody with merit. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And you're very right that most of the countries rely on a heavy balance between meritocracy and democracy. Most of the civil services or public servants in most of the countries come through meritorious examinations. And through that they get selected into a service and then they serve the elected leaders. And the most important skill that an elected leader has is the empathy towards their constituents. They have the empathy, patience to listen to people, really help them out. They have that attitude. Let's now listen to somebody who comes from the corporate space that is 100% based on merit. What do they think? Does a corporation or a government will function better with a meritorious leader or with a democratic leader? Over to Ms. Sheena Kapoor for a quick remark on this before we announce the democratic winner. Sheena, ma'am, over to you.
Yeah, hi, thanks, Daksh. I wish it were true that in corporate life, 100% of the times meritocracy is rewarded. That's not entirely true. In fact, business ethics is the biggest oxymoron that exists. Having said that, a quick, note, heartiest congratulations to every student that's present here. Really, it takes a lot of courage and a lot of effort and preparation, and kudos to all of you. God bless all of you. Congratulations, Ansh. It was a very, very tough decision and a very close call, but it was very, very exciting and heartening to listen to all the different viewpoints. I mean, I'm amazed at the level of confidence and the content and the research that each of the students have brought forth. My view on this in terms of leadership vis-a-vis democratic versus meritocracy, I know that the popular vote is democratic. But having said that, I would be inclined to actually go towards a balance of meritocracy and democratic. I wish there were a platform where leaders were first shortlisted on merit basis, and then after merit, once they have been able to prove their competence and capability, are elected on a popular vote, so that the sovereignty and from the people and the class of people is representative. One could always identify meritocratic leaders from across different societal segments, so that there is a proper representation and it's not a tyranny of majority vis-a-vis a divisive and polarization of inequality that exists. And one looks at a lot of the leaders and, unfortunately, they are not the epitome of what you would like them to stand for in terms of competence, in terms of capability, in terms of values and ethics, unfortunately. And that's not just true to, our home country, but I've seen that it is across global phenomena where corruption runs deep. Your civil services, for instance, they have a very high benchmark for performance and accountability, but they're not the ones running the ropes and the machinery. So I wish there were a balance between the two. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Sheena ma'am. And yes, you're very right. The balance works more than any side of the polar end. Whether you go for absolute merit or you go for absolute democracy, there might be more challenges. The balance works more. So most importantly, now is the time to know that who won based on votes. Who's that individual who took the maximum effort to bring people together? Who's the one who gets to decide on today's topic? So now, before I announce the winner, everyone who's on this call, just imagine for the next 5 to 10 minutes that whoever gets to win this debate based on votes, think that they become an actual leader. And whatever comes out of their mouth becomes the reality of your life. Because that's the voter life cycle that every adult experiences whenever elections happen across the world. This year, the World Teen Parliament has been invited to the G20 summit in South Africa to conduct a similar voting debate so that they also get to experience democracy like fast food within 60 seconds. Because we learned a very important thing when we started the World Teen Parliament. When Cleisthenes defined democracy, he put a very important caveat on who should be given the right to vote. He said very clearly in his texts that the right to vote should only be given to an individual who's skilled in the skill to vote. But the problem is, we don't have anything in the world called the voting skill curriculum. So the World Teen Parliament is trying to do that can we skill the voters to a level that we have amazing leaders across the globe. So let's now know that who is the winner based on votes. If you want to know the winner, put both your hands up in the air, only then I'll announce the winner based on votes. Superb. So everyone wants to know that. So congratulations to another elected MP at the 4th World Teen Parliament, because you're the one who got the maximum votes. Congratulations to Ashi Gupta. Ashi, you are the one who got the maximum votes and you win today's voting debate. You got nearly 25% of the total votes that were casted today on today's call. So congratulations to you. You got the maximum votes and you get to decide, would there be a voter turnout bonus? Yes or a no? Whatever you say becomes the decision of the World Teen Parliament today in this parliamentary session. Ashi, over to you.
Thank you so much. First, I'd like to thank every single person present in this meeting. It is honestly very overwhelming to know that everyone liked what I said. And I mean, I know I'm just a symbolic leader for the next 10 to 30 seconds, but I hope that I don't disappoint you with whatever law, subsidy and tax I would propose. So is it okay if I get around 2-3 minutes just to clear that out?
The challenge is we're nearly at the end of the time. So today you won't be declaring a tax and a subsidy. You'll only decide whether there will be a voter turnout bonus or whether there will not be a voter turnout bonus. You get to say a yes or a no, and everyone will comply to that.
Well, I stand with my argument. I do not think that there should be a voter bonus turnout. Thank you so much.
So there won't be a voter turnout bonus. That's what the World Teen Parliament thinks. And that's not because we think so, because everyone on this call thinks so. So I hope you all enjoyed the experience. Before the call comes to an end, let me invite the person who will be giving the vote of thanks today over to Kinley Lungten. Kinley, over to you for proposing the vote of thanks to this 42nd parliamentary session. Kinley, over to you.
Greetings to you all. I'm Lungten from Gazla Harsing School, Ongdi, Bhutan. Thank you all for being part of this inspiring voting debate session. A special and sincere thank you to our distinguished jury panel, Honorable His Excellence Lungpo Dorji, Honorable Dasho Pema Chewang, Honorable Miss Priscilla Moyo, Miss Sheena Kapoor, and Mr. Daksh, for generously sharing your times, wisdoms, and guidance. Your presence truly enriches these discussions and motivates us all to think deeper about the power of young voters. To our amazing Teen MPs and influencers, global school leaders, parents, and students joining live, your voice matters and your passion to engage in democracy is truly inspiring. You are the future leader, and today's conversation shows how ready you are to shape better tomorrow. Thank you for everyone who made this event possible, from the organizers to every single participant. Your energy, idea, and respect made these debates meaningful and motivate. Let's carry this momentum forward, keep the conversation alive, and continue working together for a better, brighter, stronger democracy. Thank you all once again.
Thank you so much, Kinley. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much to all the speakers. The World Teen Parliament believes in a very simple idea. The competition might come to an end. The conversation should not. So keep the conversation going. Keep talking to your parents, to your friends, whoever is around you, because you have to remember, increase the quality of the conversation. The world will already be far better than where we are today. Thank you so much, everyone. Congratulations to both the winners. And it was an amazing experience to listen to all of you. And I hope you did also enjoy today's parliamentary session. Thank you so much. Namaste. Have an amazing evening ahead. Thank you.